So the NBA draft combine was yesterday, and Bronny James looked real good. Like, Bronny James, genuinely, he looked like he was having a great combine. The guy's going to be drafted. It is a where, not if. This is the 2024 NBA draft. There are literally, like, guys that have no right to ever be drafted that will be going for the draft. It's going to be a draft where 4-year guys that are undrafted are going to be better than top 15 picks. That's going to happen. Like, I know sometimes it happens a lot of years. That's almost guaranteed to happen this year. Like, this is 2013 all over again. But Bronny James, when it came to the draft combine, has done everything that's needed. His measurements were bad. 6'1.5" and a 6'7" wingspan and 210 pounds. They're Mick Talks Hoops now. They're my measurements. They're gonna be my measurements in a few months. Touch wood that I don't get injured again and I get back into somewhat okay shape. They're my measurements. 6'1.5", 6'7" wingspan. I'm like 218 right now. Probably, hopefully, lose about 8 pounds. But they're gonna be my measurements. Obviously, Bronny James a lot more muscle than myself, but still, it didn't start off great. But then the 3-point shooting drills, he was killing it. In the vertical leap, like 40 inches. Like, he was only beaten by a couple of sneaky athletic guys who play the game the right way. Or what are the other stereotypes for these freaky athletic white dudes? Like your Pat Connaughtons. You're sneaky athletic on all of their scouting reports. What was it? Was it Paul? Or is it obviously Donovan or Connect? Absolutely freaking. That guy is going to shoot up the boards. He's a good player. I don't think he's going to be getting crazy, but he's pretty decent. But Bronny James is showing at least that he's got athleticism. He shot the lights out. And when it comes to these combines, like, obviously, you can't tell in a combine how somebody's going to shoot the ball. But you know what you can tell is, can they deal with stuff under pressure? Are they able to play under the lights? Because there is a lot of pressure involved in a combine, especially for someone who didn't play that much meaningful basketball in college. And if you're Bronny James, of course you're going to be able to deal with pressure. You're LeBron James Jr. There's been pressure on him playing basketball ever since he started playing it. And that is one thing that might translate really well to the NBA that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about. Is it might translate the fact that Bronny James, the pressure is not really going to be there, because the pressure is being on Bronny. There's probably more pressure on Bronny when he was 15 and his dad was showing up to these games and there were cameras at these high school games than there is now. The guy's been dealing with pressure since the day he was born. Again, he's LeBron James Jr. Like, there's always going to be pressure there. So that is one thing that actually might translate. And look, I don't think Bronny James is going to be a good NBA player, by the way. I don't think he's going to be a good NBA player. I think he's going to be average at best. If he has a career of more than 5 years, I would be shocked. I don't think he'd go straight into the G League either. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's probably going to go G League. No, why would he go G League? His dad's playing the NBA. The purpose is to play them together. It's for them to play together. But the more, like, I'm convincing myself that Bronny James is going to be a fine NBA player. Like, look, take him in the second round. There's nothing to lose. He's at least, like, look, the things that supposedly check out are IQ, defense. So people are saying he's smart enough to be an NBA player. His defense checks out and his jump shot checks out. Like, you never know when it comes to the draft what people do in college, what people do anywhere. You never know how it translates to be a role player. These guys have been stars their whole lives, whereas Bronny's been a glue guy his whole life. Maybe he translates. Maybe. Like, any other, if his name wasn't LeBron James Jr., would we be talking about him? Of course not. But his name is LeBron James Jr. Just like, would we have talked about Alex Antetokounmpo, Costa Antetokounmpo, if they weren't Giannis's brothers? No. Would Thanasis be in the league if he wasn't Giannis' brother? Of course not. Heck, there's so many guys that are sons of players that have been there or thereabouts making the league. Like, there are guys that have had no rights making the league that have made the league based on nepotism, or at least gotten a shot based on that. And I do think that Bronny James, he showed well in the combine. Like, the combine can't show much. It really can't. But it can show maybe you're a little bit quicker, a little more athletic than people thought. And as well as that, your ability to perform under pressure. Like, that is important. Regardless of what people say, that is genuinely important for basketball players. And Bronny James has shown that like in abundance. Like he can without question play under pressure. So anyway, that is the video. That is Bronny James at the draft combine. I thought he did very well. He showed that he's going to be a good shooter. He showed he's athletic, and because even though he is short, he's stocky, he's strong, he has a game that might translate. He's never going to be a great NBA player, but who knows? Maybe he could be a role player.